Hey guys, hope you're keeping your spirits up. Got something a little bit different for you in this video. As you can see from the title, some recommendations of things to do in quarantine. It's weird now, with everyone in lockdown. Kind of reminds me of the event.
Hello, good evening, and remain indoors. This is the quiz broadcast, coming to you every Friday, the same day as your food parcels. So chow down on a protein fudge, take whatever injections are recommended in your sector, and prepare to enjoy the show. Well, it's between 600 and 750 days since the event, but that hasn't stopped those of us that survive from enjoying ourselves. So let's remain indoors and say hello to our contestant.
Anyway, got some things for you to do for free at home to keep your minds off of the event. First up, if you're a student or a creative, here's a list of free software for all your needs. From presentation software like Prezi to Photoshop alternatives and more. Next up, I've got this Netflix cheat sheet. So you can add these codes at the end of the URL if you're looking for something specific, like anime horror or steamy romantic movies. If you're in need of exercise, here's a simple chart of exercises you can do at home. So these, along with all the other links you'll see in this video, will be linked in the description below. So if you're thinking about becoming a software engineer, I found this really useful resource posted on GitHub by a black coder fed up with underrepresentation. He personally used these resources and collated them on GitHub for us to use. Next up, Audible has made all children's audiobooks completely free, helping keep kids entertained. Here's a list of free ebooks collated by Redditor Store, thanks to Project Gutenberg. They're all sorted by category. For the music lovers out there, I've chosen a few tracks from a few artists who you might not know. I can only play snippets of these tracks, but you can find the links to all these videos underneath in the description. So first up, I've chosen a great beat by Vincil. So it's written 20-sil, but French, and with a Parisian version of Cockney rhyming slang, you end up with Vincil. Next up, I've got a funny piece by Reggie Watts. He's a beatboxer and a stand-up comedian. This track, titled A Song About Apples, is a sardonic look at relationships.
I don't even need you. I never tried to cry. I used to ask so many questions like that famous one, why? Do you know him? Does he know you? Did you do a little hanky-panky off at the San Diego Zoo?
Next up is Samba the Great, the Zambian rapper whose first album rocked. So she's just about to blow up, so keep your eyes on her.
Travel with grace, baby. I can't afford to cover the course, of course, maybe.
So here's Jesse Stewart with a love song to beer titled Cold Beer, live from the trailer park.
When it comes to emotion, makes me start choking, so I sit by the ocean. I spent my last buck on a bottle of whiskey, drunk and broke, sitting here in history. I made my mind up how I'm going. I got nowhere to go, don't know where I'm going. I do know one thing that is true. Wherever I go, I'm gonna need you.
So I think that's a short list with a little bit for everyone. I've also chosen a few music podcasts for those interested in the artists behind the songs we love. First up is Broken Record, which is a podcast from Rick Rubin and Malcolm Gladwell. If you don't know who they are, they're both worth a Google. One of the best record producers and one of my favourite journalists. Two standout episodes are one with Andre 3000 and another with Flea from Red Hot Chili Peppers. Second podcast I wanted to highlight is Hip Hop Saved My Life, hosted by comedian Ramesh Ranganathan. Then I thought I'd share with you some of the books and graphic novels that I'm reading. Some of them now have accompanying TV series, which are also worth checking out. First up, I've got His Dark Materials. So that's a trilogy made up of 3 books: The Northern Lights, Subtle Knife, and Amber Spyglass. These are some of my favourite books, and the only, apart from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, that I reread and feel that I will continue to reread throughout my life. I thought the series was well done, and I can't wait to see how they use the incredible source material.
I set out for the north some 12 months ago, and this is the first of the discoveries I made. A myriad of worlds, of which the Magisterium controls only one.
For centuries, they have been trying to keep us where they want us, on our knees.
You promised the Magisterium you'd control Asriel.
Then we'll need to take the matter into our own hands.
Lyra, there's a great change coming that will threaten us all. I'm going to give you something.
What does it do?
It has a part to play in all this. And a major one.
Tell me where the alethiometer is, or I will destroy all of this.
The book that I'm currently reading, though, is the 5th in the season. So His Dark Materials is the first trilogy. Book of Dust is the second trilogy. This is the second book in the second trilogy. The third isn't out yet, but I'm really enjoying this one, so I'm looking forward to it. Next up, as I've already mentioned it, is The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
I must warn you, we're going to pass through, well, a sort of gateway thing. It may disturb you. It scares the willies out of me.
I was disappointed with the movie, but I'm hopeful for the series in the works. This trilogy of 5 books is funny and enlightening. Please check it out. Next up, I've got a classic graphic novel, Watchmen. This masterpiece is incredibly well told and beautifully drawn.
Just a matter of time, I suppose.
I liked the movie, thought it was okay, but the new series
This is a stick-up!
expands the universe wonderfully,
If I knew the answer to that, I wouldn't be wearing a mask.
while not walking over the source material.
There are people who believe that this world is fair and good. It's all lollipops and rainbows. We don't do lollipops and rainbows. We know those are pretty colors that just hide what the world really is. Black and white.
Soon thou shalt save us, and we will whisper.
We convinced ourselves that they were gone, but they were just hibernating. They came for everybody. Hold, please.
Coordinated simultaneous attacks at the homes of Tulsa PD. So the cops hide their faces, and now the bad guys don't know where they live.
And for those who are looking for something new in the graphic novel world, this is a new book Batman the White Knight, one of the greatest graphic novels I've ever read. Brilliant Joker story. Don't want to give too much away, but really worth reading. Then I thought I would showcase 2 science YouTube channels that I think are brilliant. Steve Mould and Up and Atom. Now finally, I'd like to recommend a podcast. I'll leave a few more in the description, but the one that I wanted to highlight is Darknet Diaries. This is the podcast that tells the stories of interesting hackers, government spying, and the oddities of the online world. Really worth a listen. I'll link a few podcasts on a range of topics, so if you've made it this far, I recommend checking it out. So thanks a lot for watching this far. Some of you may have seen that we failed to raise the money we needed for the Artflix Kickstarter. Thank you so much for your support, but don't worry, we're not giving up on Artflix. We believe in this idea and we'll stand behind it. You can still support us over at artflix.agency, or you can support me on my Patreon, links below. I'm trying to work on new ideas for new videos, so if you have any suggestions, you're welcome to send them to me. As always, thanks and all the best. Over and out. Remember, remain indoors.